You know what drives me absolutely crazy? Watching people jump straight into investing apps, buying whatever stock or crypto is trending that week, while their finances behind the scenes look like a house held together with duct tape. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on top of wet sand and acting surprised when everything starts collapsing. The truth is, investing isn't just about what you buy, it's about when you do each step. Get the order right, and you can build wealth faster with less stress. Get it wrong, and you can spend years spinning your wheels without realizing why nothing is working. And stick with me to the end, because the final step is the one most people rush into first, and it's quietly costing them thousands without them even realizing it. Before we jump into the exact order, let me explain why this matters so much. Imagine you're cooking a complicated recipe. If you throw everything into the pan at once, without preparation, it doesn't matter how expensive the ingredients are, the meal comes out bad. Investing works the same way. People think success comes from finding the perfect stock or ETF, but the real secret is sequencing. The right order multiplies your progress. The wrong order cancels it out. Here's something that should make you pause. Millions of people are investing right now while carrying high interest debt, no emergency savings, and zero strategy beyond "I heard this was good." It's like trying to fill a bathtub while the drain is wide open. The math simply doesn't work in your favor. And yet, this is how most beginners start. So today, I'm going to walk you through the correct order of investing, step by step, the exact sequence that builds a strong financial foundation first, then maximizes growth second. Some of this will feel boring, and that's precisely the point. Wealth is usually built through boring decisions repeated consistently, not exciting decisions made impulsively. Let's start with the first step most people skip. Build your emergency fund. I know. Not sexy, not exciting. Nobody clicks on videos dreaming about savings accounts. But this step is the financial equivalent of wearing a seatbelt. You don't notice it when things go well, but it saves you when something goes wrong. An emergency fund isn't just cash sitting around doing nothing. It's protection against being forced to make bad decisions. Without it, the moment life throws you a curveball, your car breaks down, your hours get cut, or you face a surprise bill, you're suddenly selling investments at the worst possible time or reaching for high-interest credit cards, the big question everyone asks is how much you actually need. The traditional answer is 3 to 6 months of expenses, but that range can feel overwhelming. Here's a practical way to think about it. First, save $1,000 quickly. Then, build toward 1 month of expenses. After that, slowly work your way toward 3 months. Breaking the goal into stages makes it manageable instead of intimidating. Once that safety net exists, now we move to the step that feels less exciting but mathematically makes the biggest difference. Eliminate high-interest debt. Credit card debt is the villain in almost every financial story. With interest rates often above 20%, that debt is growing faster than almost any investment you could reasonably expect to earn. Investing while carrying high-interest debt is like trying to run uphill with ankle weights. Here's the perspective that changes everything. Paying off a credit card charging 22% interest gives you a guaranteed 22% return. Guaranteed. No stock market volatility, no risk, just a mathematical win. The strategy is simple. List all your debts, pay the minimum on everything, and throw extra money at the highest interest rate first. That's called the debt avalanche method. It's not flashy, but it saves the most money over time. Now, here's where things get interesting, because there's one major exception to the pay off debt first rule. Step 3, get your full employer match. If your employer matches contributions to your retirement plan, that's free money, and free money should never be ignored. Even if you're still working on debt, contributing enough to get the full match usually makes sense because the immediate return is massive. Imagine your employer says, put in $100 and we'll add another $50. That's an instant 50% return before the market even moves. You won't find that anywhere else. The key here is balance. Contribute just enough to get the full match, not more, and then go back to aggressively paying down high-interest debt. This way, you maximize guaranteed returns while minimizing expensive interest payments. With emergency savings, debt elimination, and employer matching done, you've built the financial foundation. Now, we step into what I call the optimization phase. Maximize your IRA. Here's why this comes before adding more to a 401k. IRAs typically give you more investment choices and lower fees. Many workplace plans offer limited options with higher expense ratios, which quietly eat into your returns year after year. Fees might seem tiny, maybe 1% versus 0.05%, but over decades, that difference can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. It's like a slow leak in a tire. You barely notice it day to day, but eventually it drains a lot of progress. Once you open an IRA, you'll face another decision that confuses almost everyone: Roth versus traditional. The question comes down to timing of taxes. Pay taxes now with a Roth and enjoy tax-free withdrawals later. Or get a tax deduction now with traditional and pay taxes in retirement. Younger investors often lean Roth because they're likely in lower tax brackets today. Higher earners may prefer traditional to reduce current taxes. And here's the truth, nobody says enough. You don't need to pick perfectly. Splitting contributions between both gives you flexibility later. Now we move to one of the most overlooked investment tools. Step 5. The health savings account if you qualify. HSAs are like a financial cheat code. You get a tax deduction going in, tax-free growth while invested, and tax-free withdrawals for qualified medical expenses. That's 3 layers of tax advantage. Most people treat HSAs like checking accounts for doctor visits, but the real power comes from investing the money and letting it grow. If you can afford to pay small medical bills out of pocket today, your HSA can compound for decades. And here's the long-term reality. Healthcare is one of the biggest expenses in retirement. Having a pool of tax-free money set aside for that cost is like building a secret financial shield. Once your IRA and HSA are maxed out, we return to your workplace plan. Step 6. Max out your 401k. At this point, you're operating at an advanced level. Your foundation is strong, your debt is controlled, and now you're fully using tax-advantaged accounts to grow wealth efficiently. Every dollar invested here compounds without yearly tax drag, which makes a huge difference over time. Most people never reach this stage, and that's okay. Even getting halfway through this sequence puts you ahead of the majority of investors. But we're still not done, because now we arrive at the step everyone wants to start with. Step 7. Taxable investment accounts. This is the Wild West of investing. Unlimited flexibility, unlimited contribution potential, and, unfortunately, unlimited opportunities for mistakes. Taxable accounts are great, but only after you've optimized everything else. Every dividend gets taxed, every gain creates a tax bill when you sell. Over time, that tax drag can quietly reduce your overall wealth more than people realize. That said, taxable accounts are incredibly useful once you get here. They give you flexibility. Want to buy a house? Need access to money before retirement age? Planning for early retirement? This is where that flexibility lives. The key is understanding that taxable accounts are the final layer, not the starting point. They're where serious wealth expansion happens once the foundation is already built. So let's recap the correct order of investing, because simplicity is what makes this powerful. Emergency fund first, eliminate high interest debt, get your employer match, max out your IRA, use an HSA if available, max your 401k, then and only then move into taxable investing. When you follow this sequence, every step supports the next. Your emergency fund protects your progress. Debt elimination stops money from leaking away. Employer matching gives you instant returns. Tax-advantaged accounts amplify compounding. And taxable investing becomes the final engine instead of the starting gamble. Here's the truth most people never hear. Success in investing isn't about being smarter than everyone else. It's about doing the boring things in the right order while everyone else chases excitement. Your future self won't care that you picked the hottest stock this year. They'll care that you built the system correctly from the beginning. And once that system is in place, investing stops feeling stressful and starts feeling inevitable. That's the correct order of investing. Most people get it wrong, but now you don't have to.